Dad is doing absolutely dad things with my camera, dangling 100 feet off the edge. You're paying for that if you drop it. Whoa.
This is my dad. He's turning 63 this year.
Titanic.
He is an interesting fellow. Growing up back in Hong Kong, Dad was rarely at home. Work always took him somewhere else, or he's on the longest milk shopping trip ever. And now, ironically, I'm the one who's moved away for work. A few days ago, he called me out of the blue and said that he was coming to Japan. No big reason, he just wants to visit me. That was already surprising enough, but what made it even crazier is that this would be the first time in a long time that I actually get to spend some time with my dad. So I decided to take as much time off as I could. Not easy when you work in a car rental in Japan, especially during holidays season, and especially when we're literally in the middle of moving offices. But hey, I tried.
衛星早晨，係我想問下，如果聽日同埋後日請假得唔得？
早晨，冇問題啊，好啊。
Well, that was easier than I thought.
I'm actually pretty hyped for Dad to be visiting me in Japan because if there's one thing that connects us, it's cars. My dad was the reason that I got into cars in the first place. And when I was a kid, he had this old, boxy Jeep. Probably held together by sheer willpower at that point. I was too young to understand anything about cars, but I remember watching him work on it every now and then. That's where it all started. And now, years later, I somehow ended up working at a sports car rental company in Japan. And this time, I'm the one who gets to show him around.
Didn't even wanna go, why'd you call me? I've had a long day and still got laundry. 2, 3, 4, make me drink more. Then you walk through this door.
Since my dad came on a whim, I couldn't completely drop work, but I tried to make the most of the time that we had. Shout out to my boss as well for letting me take these few days off. I took him out for dinner nearby, went on a couple of late night drives, showed him my apartment and my office. Just small things, but they meant a lot. The real highlight of this trip though was bringing my dad on a road trip.
Yeah, we should go somewhere. You choose, I don't care. As long as you're right here, stay next to me.
Going on a road trip with my dad has always been on my bucket list. I don't think I've ever actually gone on a proper road trip with my dad before. Not as a kid, not ever. So even though it was just for a day, it felt kind of special. It really felt like I was growing up. Of course, we also had to do something that my dad really likes. Scolding me when I fucked up in maths. I mean, playing golf. He's really into it. And I exist in the same space as the golf ball, but know nothing about it.
Dad is doing dad things again. He bought these set of golf clubs 15 minutes ago, and now he's at a golf driving range.
He even taught me how to golf. I have a little bit of a trauma whenever Dad teaches me something because the last time I remember him teaching me anything was maths. And boy, was it traumatizing.
No, you look again. This question asks you find x plus 2. X plus 2.
But spending the evening on the course and seeing how happy he was, I think it was 100% worth it. If you want to learn something in a less traumatizing way, I highly recommend checking out the sponsor of today's video, Skillshare. Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives, with thousands of classes on filmmaking, photography, design, productivity, and even business. Whether you're looking to improve your creative work, start a side hustle, or just pick up a new hobby, Skillshare has something for you. Lately, I've been trying to get better at documenting my life in a way that actually means something, not just random clips, but something that I can look back on years from now. That's why I've been taking Nathaniel Drew's class, Document Your Life 4 Methods to Live More Intentionally on Skillshare. With Nathaniel's class, I've been learning how to be more intentional with the way that I film and edit, focusing less on making things perfect and more about capturing moments that feel real. Hence, this video that I filmed with Dad. And what I really like about Skillshare is that the classes are structured but self-paced, so you can actually learn on your own terms. If you want to learn something new, the first 500 people to click the link in the description will get a 1-month free trial on Skillshare. So check it out and start learning something new today. Between all of this, I was still juggling with work, running errands, moving offices. It was a mess. But I think that is what made this visit even more meaningful. My dad got to see what my life is actually like right now.
But I wish I could have taken my dad in this. I'm sure that he would have enjoyed it very much.
To be honest, I think my dad was a little bit skeptical about my life choices at first. He's a very qualified engineer, so when I told him that I was doing a Bachelor of Arts degree, he had no idea what I was talking about. He actually said, "Does that mean that you do painting and sculpting and shit?" University degrees aside, I don't think he ever really understood what I do. But now, seeing me working, living on my own in Japan, doing something that I actually enjoy, I think maybe, just maybe, he is a little bit proud. My dad was only in Japan for 4 days. Not a long trip, but for the first time in forever, I actually got to spend real time with my dad. And that's something I don't think I'll forget anytime soon. Thanks for visiting me, Dad. Have a safe flight, and come and teach me golf again someday, will ya?